Crazy Legs Conti is 37 years old, a graduate of Johns Hopkins University, and a competitive eater for the last 6 years. In his first pro event, he set a world record by consuming 14 dozen oysters in 10 minutes, but he's never been ranked among the top 10 eaters. Why put yourself through all of this?
I think because this is really the greatest activity that I could imagine doing day in and day out at this current time in my life.
When he's not eating, Crazy Legs can be found at his day job. He's a purchasing director at the Penthouse Gentlemen's Club in New York. Clearly, though, his passion is the sport that's made him a semi-celebrity. A passion he shares with his roommate.
I have the burrito record, 12 pounds in, I think, 10 minutes. I have sushi, 141 pieces of sushi in 6 minutes, and something else, tamales, 71 in 12 minutes.
At the age of 32, Eater X is ranked 4th in the world and works at a New York pizzeria. What, if any, are the foods that you would not competitively eat?
I would eat anything, I think. I would eat a roll of pennies if I thought I could win a world title.
I enjoy to eat, I enjoy the food, and also much excitement. You compete with all the boys, so you kick them ass. When I see they're mad, I'm happy.
Among the records held by 10th-ranked Juliette Lee, a 100-pound, 43-year-old hairdresser from Maryland, 13 pounds of cranberry sauce in 8 minutes.
When I start first contest, because I never eat like that in front of people, I was just so embarrassed. Once I compete, I eat. I just think that's a piece of beauty. I'm not embarrassed anymore. I think it's beautiful.
Competitive eating might satisfy certain needs, but lucrative it is not.
You really can't get into this stuff for the money. It's one thing to try to break even. It's another to try to get rich doing it.
We're talking probably, for me personally, is under 10 grand a year. I possibly could have made more money being a sperm donor twice a week.
You know, 2 guys in the world can make a living doing it. One is Takeru Kobayashi, one is Joey Chestnut.
I'm almost embarrassed that I make so much to eat. But last year I was in the 6 figures. I made over 100,000 for eating, more than my regular job.
Joey Chestnut, the man who ate 45 slices of pizza in 10 minutes.
Joey Chestnut!
Just one of his world records. Chestnut, a 24-year-old from California, has a regular job in construction, but what consumes him is consumption and Kobayashi.
Once I started competitive eating, all I could hear, oh, you mean, did you ever eat against that little Japanese guy? The guy that eats all the hot dogs? How come you guys can't beat him? Once I decided that I could do this, it was the goal to beat him.
From 2001 through 2006, Kobayashi reigned as the king of Coney Island. But then, in 2007...
It's neck and neck! 3, 2, 1! Well, we got a photo finish!
In second place, Takeru Kobayashi!
Chestnut has done
it! 66 hot dogs in 12 minutes. The world record and the mustard belt finally belonged to Joey Chestnut.
一度負けることなかったので、負ける気持ちの準備なんてしたことないし、考えたこともなかったですね。だから負けることがすごい、負けることっていうのは自分の中では本当に負けてしまったらもう終わりだっていう風にすごい強い気持ちでやってたんですけど。
More than 1.2 million people watched as a rivalry was born. This past summer, Chestnut defeated Kobayashi at Nathan's again.
Wow, Joey Chestnut!
In September in Tennessee, Chestnut, now the top-ranked eater in the world, ate 93 Crystal Mini Burgers in 8 minutes. Kobayashi could only eat 84.
Joey Chestnut has done it again!
How you feel, Joey?
I feel like I ate close to 100 pistols.
To win the title, Chestnut consumed 15,000 calories and 24,000 milligrams of sodium. Critics say competitive eating is a sign of the apocalypse, and worse. Their concerns include health and safety issues. The Shays forbid their eaters from training, but eaters admit it happens anyway. Some binge before events. Others stretch their stomachs with water. For their part, the Shays know that if a competitor dies eating during an event, so too might their sport.
We've been very lucky. We've never actually had a situation, but since we started the league, we make sure that everyone at our event is an adult over 18. We make sure that all of our events have EMTs or medical, professionals on hand.
How can it be safe though to eat 65 hard-boiled eggs in, was it 5 minutes?
6 minutes and 47 seconds. The issue there is eggs are pure protein. That's a protein play.
I'm serious.
It's a high.
Serious. You must be afraid that at some point someone is going to just keel over.
I don't actually fear that. If I did fear that, I wouldn't do this.
Dr. David Metz is a Philadelphia gastroenterologist. He wanted to know what happens to the stomachs of competitive eaters at the moment of impact. Last year, Eater X volunteered to show him by eating more than 30 bunless hot dogs in 12 minutes. For comparison, a non-competitive eater ate 7.
So comparing the one with the other shows you that the speed eater has this ability to have massive expansion. This guy is potentially at risk because he doesn't feel full. People who eat excessively and may be training for speed eating events, as things wind down, as they get a little older, I think they run the risk of obesity as an issue, because the bottom line is if you have more calories in than you burn up, you're going to have excess calories and it's going to turn to fat. Do I feel that there has really been any damage done yet? I don't think we can say that.
I eat in contests every 2 weeks at most. So I have a lot of time in between contests to burn off calories, to exercise. So I think, if you're smart about things, you can be okay.
Which brings us back to September 12th, 2008, Little Italy, New York. A new cannoli king is crowned. He's Brad Shulo, a 21-year-old chef from Pennsylvania. 6 minutes, 20 cannolis.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you first off, why are you eating more cannoli 20 minutes after the contest ended?
They're delicious. New faces are coming up every day. There could be a man right now at home, hanging out, eating a pizza who's much better than me. Luckily now we're big enough to where he knows he can come and find me.